Is this just another promotional video? Well, maybe, but how about I put $100,000 in the bottom line in your electrical contracting business? That's right, I'm at BatteryEVO in Chatsworth, California, bringing you an exclusive offer on a brand new product unlike anything else out there. If you've been wondering, how am I going to get into solar this year? How am I going to get into battery backup? It is the future. I made it as simple as plugging in on this side and plugging in on that side and getting the battery power you need. It is a game changer for you. It's going to work on-grid and off-grid with solar or without. You ready? I'm super excited. Let's get into this video. So the BatteryEVO takes two parts to make the whole thing work. The first is the inverter. This is an 8 kilowatt inverter. The inverter sits right on top of the battery unit. But let me just show you what this inverter does that really will blow your mind. First is the programmable screen to allow this thing to be used either off-grid or on-grid, with solar connected or without solar connected. And by the way, it also connects direct DC from the solar panels, which is further going to reduce costs for the client because you could go directly from solar panel into inverter. Nobody else does that. The exciting part about BatteryEVO is they have 4 different models that you're going to be able to purchase. The first one is our smallest unit, which is the Walrus. It comes with an 8 kilowatt inverter and a 13 kilowatt battery. Now, the other 3 units are all in this package size, and that is the Arctic. The Arctic comes with an 8 kilowatt inverter and a 15 kilowatt battery. Then when you want to step up from there, you've got the Atlantic. The Atlantic has a whopping 10 kilowatt inverter with a 30 kilowatt battery. You heard me right, but if you thought that was crazy, no. There's one bigger, and that is the big daddy of them all. It literally is the biggest inverter you can put inside of this unit, and that is the Pacific. The Pacific comes with a 15 kilowatt inverter and a 35 kilowatt battery in the same exact package. So let's take a deeper look and talk about the controls, your outputs, and your inputs. Let's go. So the first thing we have here is literally the easy access power source. Because this thing's already hooked up with a battery, you automatically have power in the 2 outlets and the 30 amp 240 volt receptacle ready to go. Whether you're on grid or off grid, it's taking power from the battery, and you can just plug in anything you want right into these 3 outlets and you're good to go. Now, what we want to do in this is we want to actually connect this as an alternative to a gas generator. To do that, you won't believe how easy it is. No plumbing for gas, no cement pad, no extra licenses, permits, and cost. This is the unit, and it's on wheels. So the side of the inverter has your input power, and the input power is coming directly from your main meter, which is your non-backed up loads. It comes out using a simple 1450 receptacle into the BatteryEVO unit. Now, this is going to do 2 things for you. Number 1, it's going to charge it off of the grid. Now, if you already have a solar system, it's already backfeeding to the panel, so those panels are going to also be charging this unit when you're not using the load or giving it back to the utilities. So because it's connected to the grid, it's automatically flowing through the battery, charging it, and then out of this cable, it's going down and going into a second sub-panel. Now, most people would call this a transfer switch, but it's not. This panel is the panel that you install, and you literally take all the circuits that you want back up. But you're not needing to do an actual transfer because the battery does it itself as soon as the main power dies. So for example, if I unplug it, everything still works because now the battery just took over in milliseconds, right? We don't have power coming in, but yet you can see we still have power coming out. So one of my favorite features of this thing is the actual direct DC input. What that means is you're already saving money if you're going to go solar because you've got an inverter already built in. You're going to take your solar input and put it directly into the input port of the BatteryEVO. And when I say it's easy to do, this is how easy it is. Now, you solar installers, there's your MP4 connectors. You connect that directly to your solar array. You're going to calculate your voltage and a maximum of 4,500 watts. And you're simply going to plug it right in to the DC input. It's as easy as that. Unbelievable? That's what I said. That's why I partnered up with BatteryEVO. So now you need more power for a longer periods of time. You're a doomsdayer like I am, right? Super simple. Daisy chain your 15 kilowatt batteries for a maximum of 8. That gives you 120 kilowatts of battery power all included in the BatteryEVO system. Unbelievable. So the entry is your Walrus. It's the actual unit I have at my house that I'm going to be showing you actual installation videos in my own house so that I can have battery backup when the power dies in Montana. Then your next unit up is going to be the Arctic, then the Atlantic, and then the Pacific. So you're covered as an electrical contractor for any type of customer. Whether he's on a tight budget like I am, or if he's willing to spend the money, they got you covered. Now let's talk about the Walrus. The Walrus is an all-in-one unit. It doesn't have a separate inverter from the battery, but it still has the same exact extension ports as its big brother and sister does. You still have your input, your output, your DC output, and you still can expand it with the same battery units. It's all plug and play. Two other features that I gotta tell you about this battery that no other battery does. Number one, it's got a time of use feature. What does that mean? Hey, if you're in an area where your utility charges you more money when it's high demand than it does when it's low demand, you charge this battery up when it's low demand, meaning 10 cents a kilowatt, for example, and it discharges. You actually use the power when it's 20 cents per kilowatt. You're actually paying for the battery just by using the built-in feature called time of use. That means that you don't need to take advantage of solar just to get your money back with time of use. That's a game changer. Second feature I want to mention is the Wi-Fi capability, so you have an app. It'll even notify you if your power is out, if you have a problem with the battery, and anything else you need to know to diagnose the battery and the way it works. So what does all this mean? It means nothing unless we get this guy, Brian from BatteryEVO, to talk to you about sales and how you, the electrical contractor, is going to start ordering from BatteryEVO. So Brian, let them know what they need to do.
All you got to do to get started is click the links below. That'll take you to our website. You fill out the form and you're good to go.
Brian, where else can they get this deal besides the 360?
Nowhere else but the 360 Electrician and BatteryEVO.com.
I appreciate that. This partnership is going big, you guys.
Jeff, why don't you tell us about the online training program that we've got going?
Oh, absolutely. We almost forgot about that. I think one of the best part about this relationship is how BatteryEVO has given me all the resources so me, the contractor channel, can give you the training, the sales technique, and a special guest to talk about the code and what you need to know about the code when you're installing batteries. We're going to cover you from A to Z, from battery to Evo. I can't wait. Brian, let's sell some batteries.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jeff.